guys, welcome to Joy Junk and Jesus episode 2. It has been long awaited.
At least
by us.
That might be our bad.
Yeah.
Long time no see. We're super excited for today's episode. We're going to be talking about struggles and sin struggles and how to just bring those to the Lord and how to walk through those with Him and allow Him to heal you and bring you peace in those. We're really excited about this episode because I think we can both relate to it a lot, and we're excited to kind of share some insight with you guys and hopefully help some of you guys move through things in your life.
Yeah, so we kind of wanted to start with just struggles, I guess, because we were talking to just friends and family who had watched the first episode, and we just kind of wanted to show the junk aspect of our name, I guess, and just show just real life what it really is like to constantly battle the flesh, while still trying to live a life for the Lord. So we figured we would kind of start out with just, I guess, what we are struggling with.
Yeah, and then a little bit of vulnerability from us.
Yeah, and then how we get through those struggles and just kind of how we're navigating it, things that have stuck out to us when reading. And yeah, just kind of see where this episode takes us.
Yeah.
So, fine.
Okay, I'd say one thing for me that I've struggled with a lot, definitely my entire life, but especially more recently I noticed this, even going into my freshman year of college, I know I've mentioned before, being so plugged into a campus ministry and all that, and that was great, and that really did help me mitigate, my sin struggles and, my habitual sin, because I had a lot of people to, keep me accountable for different stuff. But one thing that I've always struggled with so badly is my anxiety, and I think I've struggled a lot recently with, really surrendering it to the Lord, because it's so, for me, it's, a control issues thing because of fear. It's I want to have control over things because I like to know how things go. Not even just I want them to go my way, but I want to know that they're going to be okay and that things are going to work. And the root of that for me, a lot of that anyways, has been really doubting the Lord, which obviously we shouldn't do that, but everybody does it. And it's one of those things that can be kind of a little bit embarrassing almost to talk about because it makes it sound oh, well, they're not in the Word or they're not really pursuing the Lord as much as they should be. But when really you can be chasing after the Lord and still struggle even severely with anxiety like I do. But I think I've been learning how to really bring that to the Lord and actually kind of just relinquish that control a little bit so that He can actually heal me through that and allow me to find the peace and the rest that I need in Him. Yeah. So I'd say that's for me pretty base level the root of a lot of my problems right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel I kind of resonate with that, at least the control aspect. I'd say my biggest one is probably gossip and judgment, and I feel gossip because I'm I want to know everything. I to have that sense of control almost, where it's okay, but I need to know this because I want to know everything. And then sometimes it just turns into just flat out, oh, I just want to be a jerk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest, I just want to talk about people. That's, I'm trying to get out of that headset and that mindset. Oh my Lord. And really just kind of okay, I'm not going to do that. And then judgment, I have always come off as very blunt, very straightforward, and I show all my emotions on my face. So being able to take a step back from that and give that to the Lord and be listen, I struggle with my judgment. I struggle with just how I come off towards people. A lot of times I don't have any ill intent behind it, but that's just how I come off. So that has definitely been something that I have struggled with a lot, and just being able to really surrender that over and stop myself when I find myself in those situations where it's okay, no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
So that I feel like we both can kind of resonate
for sure
with.
Yeah, I agree, especially for me, one aspect that I kind of see a lot of that is in my workplace, and we've talked about this, we both see it all the time in our workplace because I feel that's for us right now where it's the most common anyways, because obviously I'm not in school right now, so I don't have that aspect of it, but that did exist as well because nobody's perfect, right?
Even in high school.
Yeah, even in high school, in a Christian ministry, wherever you are, gossip and judgment are going to exist. Just that's the world we live in, right? It doesn't excuse it, especially coming from the Christian, right? But it's always something that's going to be present, and it's always something that you have to be accountable and be self-aware enough to recognize that and cut it off before it grows into something that it shouldn't.
Yeah.
And one place that it's been happening a lot for me, or I'll say the opportunity to do it has been work recently, especially literally my shift yesterday. I found out some information I was not pleased with, but I was I had to really bite it down. I was I was like, okay, like continue to have a good attitude. Like, you know, this girl who's talking to me, I was like, I love her to death. I was like, give her reassurance. Like, you know, things happen in the workplace, but that doesn't mean you have to go around telling everybody about it. And that doesn't mean you have to talk about people. And
that's real.
Yeah.
That's so real.
And like, cause it's not my job to share other people's business. Yeah. It's not my job to go spreading, oh, did you hear what this person said about this person? Or like, oh, I heard so-and-so got let go. Like, that's not my job. Like, Hannah, shut up.
Yeah. No,
like, truly, like,
literally, that's so valid. That's how I am. Like, I go into work and I'm just like, oh, what's happening, guys? What's going on?
Like, and then I want to know.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, did you hear about this person?
So bad.
And I'm like, Reagan, be quiet.
Shut up.
Like, literally stop talking.
This is not what you're getting paid for. Like, I swear I walk in there, like, that's my job sometimes.
And
I'm like,
literally,
I need to quit. It's so bad.
And like, being able, and the Lord has like helped me so much in that area of like, being able to like recognize when I fall into like those sinful places where I'm like, you know, or like in that position where like somebody's telling me something and I'm like, ooh, well, I want to know the tea, like what's going on. So like being able to like take a step back and be like, you know what, we're gonna leave it alone. Okay, they can tell me, and then we're gonna do nothing with this information. A lot of like what I've been doing recently though is like I just tell God, oh my God, can you believe this? Oh my gosh, like. So then I'm not like gossiping to other people. I feel like that's been really helpful because again, like I like have been able to recognize that, and it is like nice that the Lord has like brought that to light. Yeah. But I still am like, oh, but I don't want to like chit chat.
Right. And for me, one thing I've learned too is like I also just like I don't know like the diversity of like your workplace in terms of like age or whatever, but like I work with a lot of young people. Like the oldest people in there are maybe like mid-30s, mid-40s, and that's only like a select
range.
That's like a select number of people. So it's like it's mostly like teenagers who work there, and it's really hard to not like fall into that. Like I know some coworkers of mine who are Christian, and like we've kind of talked a little bit about that before, and like how we feel like kind of convicted over it sometimes, and how we kind of try to just let it go. Like kind of like you said, like people can come to us and tell us stuff, and like, you know, oh, this person like offended you, or like they hurt your feelings, or you didn't feel like they were being professional about like situation XYZ. Like that's okay, and like I do want people to feel comfortable like coming to me with that stuff, especially if they feel like they can be like reassured at least a little bit. But I don't want it to be a thing where they come to me because they think that like I'm gonna like take their side no matter what, and like I'm not actually gonna listen to the full story, and that I'm gonna make like snap judgments, because that used to be my problem.
Or validate like what's going on.
Yes, because I don't usually react very emotionally, like not in a bad way, but I tend to be very rational about stuff. So when people come to me about certain things, I'm just like, well, you know, you have to consider these aspects as well. Like I hear what you're saying, and I'm sorry that happened, but like, you know, you have to consider everything in the situation. But I try to not be on the other end of the stick where it's like I'm making snap judgments for them, because that's also not my place, right? It's like this is something that they've experienced. Maybe they experienced a mistreatment with a customer, with a coworker, whatever it is. It's like you do have to remain professional about it. And that's one thing I'm trying to teach myself too, and kind of train my brain, especially like growing up and like being in college, and like I'm going to be getting internships going into the workforce. It's like you do have to be more professional about that stuff. So
like
for me,
this is the workplace.
Yes, no, literally. I'm like
this is not high school.
You know,
this
it's really
is
not
like I forget that sometimes. Like when I go to work, like I have such a bad mindset about it, because I'm like, bro, like this is just, I'm here for fun. You know what I mean? Like in all seriousness, like this is not gonna be my career. So I go in there and it's like I'm just like having a good old time, and I'm like, Megan, this is the workplace. You know, and not that I'm like unprofessional.
Right, but it's like
this is the workplace. Like get your head
lock in a little bit.
Lock in. You know what I mean? So
100%. Yeah. That's one thing I'm trying to train my brain, is kind of like to not only be professional, but for me, like my professionalism ideally is going to be like rooted in Christ, right? So like I know a lot of upperclassmen, like I'm going to plug the BCM all the time, like that's where I know like all of my friends, but a lot of them who are upperclassmen and do have like, they are starting their real jobs and they're starting real internships, like they've been huge mentors for me as well, because it's like seeing like how they carry their godliness into the workplace, I think has been a huge thing. And that's really helped like convict me of some of the things that I've been struggling with, because I'm like, oh, this person saw how I was acting, like what would they call me out on immediately? So, because you always know the answer. You always know the answer. But you just don't want to say it because it doesn't feel good.
And I know when we had met yesterday to like talk about what we were going to do for these next few episodes, we had kind of talked about just like a big struggle is like just how people perceive us, but not necessarily in like, oh, do they think I'm pretty? Do they think I'm nice? But like, do they see Christ in me? You know, so I feel like that has been like a big struggle of mine, is like, because I've been at my work for like a year and a half at this point, And when I first started working there, I was not living for the Lord in any way, shape, or form. So, like, I was just going out, doing whatever. And then now I'm, like, so in love with Jesus. And just, like, I want people to, like, look at me and just be like, yeah, like, she knows the Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, like, now I go into work and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I hope that they don't look at, like, what I used to be like almost. Right. And, like, think that that's how it's okay to be
as a Christian.
Yeah.
Yes,
or even like look at me now, like when I do mess up, because there are times I go into work and I'm annoyed and I'm like frustrated and I'm just like, I do not want to be here, but like, so like times when I do make mistakes, because I do, when I like fall into like gossip or judgment, like, oh my gosh, like I hope that they don't take that and then like see me as like less of a Christian, or like be like, okay, well, if you're acting like this and then you preach love and you say to follow Jesus, then like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to seem like a hypocrite. So I know that that's something that I've also been struggling with a lot. Is like, I want people to look at me and be like, yeah, like she loves the Lord. But like, obviously, like I'm human, I mess up, you know? And not using that as an excuse, like, oh, I'm a sinful person.
Right,
So like, it's, of course, like I'm going to sin. Like, yes, but not using that as an excuse. But like, I know I am going to fail because I'm an icky, sinful person. So like, having to like navigate that and not put so much like focus on the past too, I think is something like a lot of times we just kind of sit in like past sins or like past things that have happened, past experiences, and then we just kind of like sit on that, and that's where our focus is, rather than, okay, well, what has God done now? What's he doing now, and how can we show the Lord through this now, rather than just like just sitting on the past.
I think that's really good stuff, for sure. Going back to that inside joke that we've had this whole time, we in fact are hypocrites. And we do in fact suck. So I hate to break it to you guys. But I totally agree. And like one thing we were talking about the other day too was kind of like how to release the shame of like your past sin. Because like even when I started working at where I work now, I've been there since like halfway through senior year of high school, and even though I was a Christian, like I was an FCA leader and like I was doing all this stuff, like I spoke fairly often, and like I looked like this like not perfect little Christian, but like I had the image of a lot, but I was really, really struggling in my walk with the Lord, because I had like, there was a lot going on in my life. Not that that's an excuse, because it's not. However, it does make it more challenging, and that's okay. But I wasn't choosing to actively pursue the Lord through my struggles, I think was my issues. Like I didn't really know how to come to him, or like even if I did, like if I knew what I needed to do, it's as simple as like just getting in the Word, just praying. And sometimes, like for me, I don't know if you've ever felt like this, but it's like if you haven't been like, say, very consistent or so for a little bit, and then you like just start praying, and all of a sudden it feels like I'm talking to nobody. It's like I'm like, am I going insane? Yeah. Because it's like when you don't spend time in the Word, you're not going to hear the Lord's voice, right? Yeah. And you're not going to hear His discernment as clearly in your life. And that's kind of how I felt all the time. But so I'd go to work and I would be falling all up into it, you know what I mean? Kind of just like she said, like the gossip and the judgment, and like I was kind of just going along with how everybody else talked and how everybody else acted, just because it's like, oh, I had this like cool job now. Like I want to fit in here with these people. Yeah. And I do, and I love my job so much. Like I really do. My coworkers are great. But for me, it's like I had to continuously remind myself, it's like, Hannah, you're supposed to be set apart. Hannah, you're supposed to be set apart. Not in a way that's like, oh, like she's holier than thou because she believes in Jesus. That's not how it is at all. Yeah. And if that's your understanding of Christianity, then unfortunately you've been, I guess, preached to incorrectly, getting some misinformation. That's okay. That's why we're here to clarify. But I think that continuing to remind myself that like you're meant to be set apart, like has been a huge motivation for me, especially coming out of college and then like going on these mission trips as well. Like I remember vividly, like after I came back from Costa Rica, things were so much different for me at my workplace, like immediately. Because before that, I was like, I would fall into, cursing was a big thing that I would fall into, like a lot. Especially before I went to college, and like the gossip, the judgment, and just like the snap judgments, kind of making immediate assumptions on people that I shouldn't have been making, and just speaking ill of people in ways that like I'm not proud of, you know, like I'll fully own up to that. Coming back from Costa Rica, like I had such a better discernment, like the way I changed the way that I performed at work. So I noticed immediately, and like not that it's what it was about, but like my performance at work got so much better. Like I was getting complimented by like my managers and like fellow staff, whatever. It's like, you know, you're killing it, but it's because I came back with a new attitude. Yeah. And I'd really taken that week away to truly allow the Lord to renew my heart. And that's one of the reasons I love missions so much, and why I'll always talk about them and speak so highly of them, is because they really do so much more for you than sometimes you think. Because even when like you're there and it's like you're doing your quiet time every day, it's like you don't feel like much is changing, but then you come back and it almost feels like all of you has been renewed.
Yeah.
And it's so refreshing.
It's like you go into missions with the intention to like teach people about the gospel, and then it's like, but it does so much on your heart too.
Yeah.
And I feel like really allows for just like the Lord to like really just like,
Yeah.
you know, like I think it's so cool just like truly when we let the Lord in our hearts the way that he can change us, because I feel like we kind of started to get our lives together a little around the same time.
Yeah.
So, like, just over, like, the past year, like, we have changed so much, and the Lord is really, like, I look back on it all the time, and I'm like, dang, Lord, like, you just really did a number on me or something, because, like, just I feel like how I, like, go out into the world, like, I'm so much more mindful about it.
Yes,
you know, that's something I've noticed when you go out and, like, you're living for the world and you're not saved. I feel like you just have no like thoughts of like, okay, well, how are people perceiving me? Or if you do, they're more like negative, or like not negative, but like so much more like self-centered.
Yes.
You know, it's like, okay, well, do these people think I'm nice because I want people to like me?
Right.
Or you're like, I'm gonna be mean and I'm gonna be a jerk because I want to seem cool or I want to seem better. And then you come to the Lord and you have so much more intention in what you do and like how you go about your day and stuff. So, like, that's just something that I think is really cool about being in the Lord and, like, really, like, allowing him to change your life. Is you have so much more intention in what you do. Like, when I go out into the world now, go out into, like, my workplace, I'm like, okay, well, I want to show Christ as much as I can. Like, when people look at me, I want them to see Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them to see me. I want them to see Jesus. I want them to see God's love. So, like, just so much more intention in how I speak to people and just like how I carry myself almost too. Like that I feel like has been something that is like been like really important in my life and something I'm so grateful for, is because I just love like being able to go out and have that intention. Like my community group leader had like texted something I think earlier this week and was just like, don't walk around in like mindlessness or something like that, you know, like
that's good.
Don't just like, yes, like it is so important to rest, but don't just like let that kind of just when you have no intention, you don't think about anything that you do,
True.
which I think is like really, really important.
Yeah, I think mindfulness, I think that's a really good way to put it. Honestly, I think that's a very good wording for it, because it's like you're trying to be so much more intentional about the way that you're perceived, and not like you said, because like, oh, it's like I want to look good and like I want to do all these things and I want to look like I'm really good at what I do, and like professionally, like socially, whatever it may be, like you're changing because your heart has changed. And I think for me, again, like I will always plug missions for like the rest of my life because of that exact reason. Like it truly changes you so much more than you think, in the best way possible. And like I said this before, I'll say it again, like Christians need to be reminded of the gospel too. Like
absolutely.
And I think that's one thing that like missions has definitely taught me as well. It's like while you're there to serve other people and to preach and teach to other people, like they're there just as much to pour into you. And I can say that especially for last year, like we were blessed with such a good community of people to work with, and it taught me so much, and it definitely humbled me in so many ways that I hadn't really been challenged in before, in terms of like reflecting back on my own sin struggle. It's like, how selfish am I? Like I really suck. Like I can't. Like I genuinely, it's like, cannot live without sin, right? And then it's like you come back and things are so different. It's like, okay, I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to, not do this anymore. I'm not going to cuss anymore. I'm not going to gossip anymore. And then you fall back into it 48 hours later. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because you're like, I thought this was supposed to like change me. It's like, no, girl, you got to put the work in.
Later, bro. It's like 3.
I know. It's like, no, girl, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you want to see the results, you got to put the work in.
Yeah. And like really trust in the Lord in that. And like really like hand that over. Like, truly just like give it up, you know. Like I feel like a lot of times when we like pray about things, we still have such a grasp on it where it's like we'll go out and we'll pray and be like, Lord, like help me in this situation,
right?
You know, like and then you still kind of are like, you still kind of have your little finger
your little toes in, different toes in.
I know, like, and it's like, girl, completely let go.
Yeah.
Like literally let go.
Yeah.
And then like the Lord is able to move so much more because you're like fully trusting Him.
Yes.
So like that's something I've noticed is like truly giving that over and trusting Him, because there have been like things that I've prayed for, like struggles that I've had, and I have just like prayed over and over and over, like, Lord, help me with the struggle that I have. But like I'm still, my pinky's still on it, you know? Like, I'm still just, like, still have that, like, tiny little grasp on it, because it's like, okay, well, I can control it. And then, like, fully just letting go and being like, okay, like, Lord, you know what? Like, you got it.
Yeah.
And then like really giving it over to him gives you so much more peace of mind. And also then that's when you start to see change.
Yeah.
He knows when you fully trust him. And I'm not saying, oh, you pray that one prayer and then everything's like
right.
that struggle's taken away. I think it's like a multiple.
It's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it takes time, but like
yeah.
he's able to move so much more than like we can. He has so much more power than we do. So it's so cool just to like when we fully like let it
just
go.
kind of relinquish it. Yeah. And I think for me too, like one thing that I definitely got clocked with I was on vacation the other week, and I was telling her about like some of the quiet times that I had. Genuinely have never been clocked so continuously in my entire life. Why did I like read the entire book of James, started Lamentations, was in the Psalms, Hebrews 12, like all of that stuff. I was like, every single day it was like, oh, actually, you do have control over this, and yet you choose not to let it go. Oh, okay,
Blocking
right,
all the time.
Right, especially like James 3. Okay,
yeah,
I was like, oh, that's fine. But it's genuinely, it's like you need to hear it sometimes, because it's like for me, I kind of talked about this at the beginning, but like a lot of my control issues stem from like my fear of like things not going the way that like I perceive that they need to. And for me, that kind of creates like the anxiety of like, it creates the loop. That's kind of where my mental loop comes from. I'm like, okay, this needs to happen so that this can happen, so that this can happen, you know. So it all goes in the order that I think it needs to go in. Even if like that order is not particularly wrong, it's not always the order that the Lord has for things to go in.
Yeah.
And mark my words, let me go ahead and tell you. If they're not his way, they will go his way. And you're not going to like it. And that's okay.
And like, literally, I think that there's so much more peace in that, though.
Yes.
Like, that's what I've been thinking about the past few days is like, if the Lord has a plan, like, there's absolutely nothing we can do to stop it. Like, and that's, I think, something so beautiful. Like, I've been going through, like, I was reading through, I want to, like, definitely talk about it. I was going through, I just finished Leviticus, so that was a lot of fun. But in chapter 26, God is basically telling them, like, okay, you have this covenant, you know, like, he had that covenant with Abraham, and then it got passed on to Isaac, and then Jacob, and it just, like, kept going down, and the Lord's like, yo, you have this covenant, and he's telling them, like, here are the laws, you know, here are the old laws that you guys need to follow. He's like, if you don't follow them, death. You get no promises, nothing, death, like, truly the Lord is like, bro, like, you don't follow my plans, then
you're cooked.
Yeah, literally. Like, you get nothing. But then he went in and was like, what did he say? And then he said, okay, and I acted with hostility towards them and brought them into the land of their enemies. And when their uncircumcised hearts are humbled and they make amends for their iniquity, then I will remember my covenant with Jacob. I will remember my covenant with Isaac and my covenant with Abraham, and I will remember the land. Basically, the Lord's like, okay, but if you do fall and you do struggle, then like, and you truly like humble yourselves and repent and like turn towards me, then like I will still give you that. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, you will still have that promise. And just like, I love reading about like the Lord and his promises, because as we see, like anytime the Lord promised anything in the Bible, it was always
brought to completion.
Always. So like that is something that is so beautiful that like we can see is like when the Lord has promised us something, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I know me, like for the longest, like I want to say all like freaking 17 years of life, I was like so stressed because I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord, like what if I don't get married? What if I don't have kids?
I swear, I'm like, girl, you're 14. Like,
know,
what are you talking about?
You're like 13 years old. What are you doing? Like, you don't need to be getting married anyways.
Like, do pre-algebra or something.
I swear. Like, so, like, graduate, like, freaking high school first.
Yeah.
So, like, that was always something, even now, like, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, okay, Lord, like, where is my husband? So, like...
Casually.
No, literally. So, that was something that I had to, like, truly just, like, give up to. Like, and it's like, okay, like, the Lord, if I am promised a husband, I will get a husband. You know what I mean? If that is in his plan, then I will get married and I will, like, have that. So it's, like, it brings so much peace. And, like, now I'm just kind of like, okay, Lord, like, whatever. Your timing, like, is always going to be so much more, like, greater than my timing anyways. So, like, truly giving that over, like, the Lord, when he promises something, like, we are going to get that, you know what I mean? And it's, like, so cool and just, like, really gives me so much peace because I'm, like, again, like, I know the Lord promised. Okay, well, he's going to deliver.
And he's going to deliver because he never leaves or forsakes us. That actually reminds me of something that I read I don't know when, it was a few days ago. But kind of going back to what you were saying about how, like, no matter what, I think it was like Lamentations 1, because essentially it's like, you know, they were grieving because the Lord was like, he had like destroyed the city, right? He had made it a desolate place because the people of like Jerusalem were living in active rebellion.
He was real quick to destroy something.
He tore them up. I'll go ahead and tell you that. I'll tell you what, he tore them up. But one thing that I really got from that, like specifically chapters 1 and 2, is that like no matter where you are, like if you truly are like understanding of like your consequences, like the Lord is going to discipline you, and he disciplines you because he loves you. And if the Lord didn't do that, his love wouldn't be everlasting. Like he would not have died on the cross for us if his love was not everlasting. But that also means that he has to come alongside us and gently guide us back on the path that he has set before us. But one thing that I really picked up from those 2 chapters is like the Lord always wants to hear from you.
Always.
Like towards the end of like chapters 2 and 3, the people are still like lamenting, right? They're in a state of deep grief and sorrow is essentially the root of that word. And they finally started kind of coming back to the Lord. Like they were finally starting to cry out to him instead of kind of just complaining like, Lord, why have you done this? Why have you brought like destruction to this place? Like I thought we were your holy people, your holy city. Like why have you done this to us? Like I can't believe you've left and forsaken us. But it was because they were living in willful and active rebellion. But when they finally started coming back to the Lord reminded them, like, I'm always here for you. Just because I have to destroy the things that you were holding above me doesn't mean that I don't care for you just as much as I did before. But sometimes the Lord has to tear down everything that you build up for yourself so that you realize all you need has been built up in him already.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Say it louder for the people in the back. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Yeah, I'm preaching to the choir too, mind you. Like, because I struggled with this so bad for the longest time. Because I had to get clocked so bad, like, towards the end of my freshman year. I think I was talking to my discipler about things that I was struggling with, and she goes, why do you think that is? And then I was like, you might as well be pointing at me with, like, one of those, like, foam fingers that they use at baseball games. I was like, you might as well I was like, you know what, yeah, you ate me up, and I deserved it. So, shout out, Becca. But I think that once I started realizing that a lot of, like, where my discomfort and my kind of grief came from was from my own sin. It's like that I didn't even recognize. It's like when you finally start to, when the veil's kind of lifted off of that and you kind of start to understand maybe this is why things aren't happening for me, is that the Lord knows I'm not ready to receive them. He will bring, like you said, he'll bring all things to you in his timing. And like but he'll only bring them when he knows that you are equipped to handle them, especially if it's like another person, like a husband, right? Because Lord knows, all year of it, I was like, Lord,
no, literally.
Like, I just want to be married.
Like the ripe age of 12, you do not need a husband.
Yes,
honey.
Literally. Like, why am I engagement ring shopping on Pinterest?
No, literally.
That was so awful of me. But it was really challenging for me, I think, throughout my freshman year, even like seeing like so many people, obviously who were a little older, most of them, who were getting married. Like in a Christian community, like it is kind of a thing to get married very young, and that's okay. Like that's fine. Some people get married old, some people get married young. It really doesn't matter. Whenever the Lord has your day set, he has your day set, right? And that's something that I've found peace with too, I think. But seeing so many people around me who were engaged and married and just in very happy relationships, it's like, Lord, when is it going to be my turn? It's like, he's like, it's going to be your turn when you actually start following me fully. I'm
like fully giving that over. Like, again, that was something I stressed about constantly. I still want to get married. Like, bro, if the Lord, like, placed my husband in my life tomorrow, I'd be like, oh, let's get married.
Ring.
No, literally.
Could propose to the ring pop. Don't care.
I know, literally. But, like, that was something I stressed about so much just because, like, I knew I wanted to get married and, like, I knew I wanted to have kids. And I'm like, what if that doesn't happen? You know, like, I had this whole plan of, like, when I was, like, again, like, 12 years old, it's, like, 18 years old, boom, married. Kids by 22, I'm like, boom. And then it's, like, honey.
Take a breath.
No, literally. And then I graduated high school. I'm like, I could not imagine being married right now. Like, what was I thinking?
I don't know.
So, like... And again, but like truly the Lord, like that was something that like I was on my heart constantly. And then being able to like give it over to him and be like, you know what, Lord, like I know you have a plan for me. And I know that there's nothing I can do to stop your plan. There's nothing I can do to change your plan. So like fully giving that over gives like so much peace. So now I'm just kind of like, okay, whatever. Like when my husband comes, he comes. But like it's so nice just having that comfort in the Lord. And like just also I am like a firm believer, like you have to be so in love with the Lord before you can love someone else.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You won't know how to love them if you don't.
No, if you don't. And they won't know how to love you if they don't know.
Correct.
Like, if they don't love the Lord. So, like, that's, I feel like, my biggest focus is, like, I want to be so in love with the Lord that, like, I don't even need anyone. And like that's what I've been able to realize is like I don't need a husband. What I need is the Lord. I'll always need him. Like, is that a want? Is that a desire? A fleshly desire at times? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like being able to differentiate that, like, okay, that's a want, but what we need is the Lord. Like we need his love and we need to love him fully.
Yeah. And so the power of discernment and discipline is powerful.
Yeah.
Like it really, really is. Like you said, like that's a want. That's not a bad want, but it's like it's one of those things that you do have to have fully surrendered to the Lord, or you are going to start going about it, like thinking about it in a fleshly manner, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that you have to be crucifying every single day. You have to crucify your flesh in that every single day, because the enemy will change the root of your desires to be fleshly if you are not submitting them to the Lord. I've learned that as well, the easy way and the hard way. But I think that ultimately, like, if you are in a place where you're in active surrender and submission to the Lord, he's going to take care of all of your needs, like keyword needs. First. And your needs are not what God's needs for you are.
Yeah.
That's another thing too. It's like he knows what you actually need and what will actually, be the things that you need to sustain you throughout your life. And whether that's just him, whether that's a spouse, like he has that set before you in his plan. But I think that kind of going off what you were saying, I really like what you said about like the Lord has to prepare you to love him fully so that you can love somebody else fully. Because like the way that I think I've tried to start thinking about it in a way that I've been mentored a lot, like coming into college, like I said, kind of seeing all of those relationships and just truly being inspired by like how submitted both individuals are to the Lord and how well they serve each other because they seek the Lord first before they seek each other and before they seek anything else. Yeah. It's been so inspiring. And I think one thing I've learned is that like I have to be prepared to love another one of God's children. Like I think that's so beautiful. Like my heart is potentially, hopefully, being prepared to like love another individual that he has created and that he has put his time into and that he cares for and that somebody else that he also died for. Yeah. Like that's so amazing to me. And I like would love nothing more than to be able to give that kind of a love to that person. Yeah. But I know that where I'm at right now, I'm not prepared to do that. Because do I love the Lord and do I love the Lord with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength? Yes. But there's a lot of maturity in my walk that needs to happen. Like I'm bold enough to say that. And especially going into this new year, and I'm going to have some new roles in leadership, even at the BCM, like it's going to be a place where I'm going to be challenged so much more. Like I was talking to her about this yesterday too. Like I'm going to be leading discipleship groups. Like, and if I'm going to be a discipler, I have to be sure that I am pursuing the Lord before anything else so that I'm not leading people down the wrong path. Like I feel like it's such a different, heavy like weight of responsibility when you know that you're responsible for like almost like part of the spiritual well-being of like other individuals, because it's like it's your job to mentor them and to bring them up.
And so you don't want to like lead them astray or anything.
No, not at all. And that's one thing for me that I think has been inspiring. It's like, okay, Hannah, you need to lock in like you've never locked in before in your life. And I'm so excited. Like you have no idea. Like I can literally cry about it. Like how much joy it brings me that I'm going to get to do this and that I've been given the opportunities to like walk alongside like not only my discipler, because she and I are going to do what we call 2x2s. So where we disciple girls together. And then she's going to continue discipling me, and then she's getting discipled by someone else. But just being able to bring that new level of maturity in that, and that joy that I have in just truly resting in the Lord, like, and getting to show other young women how to do that. Yeah. Is so inspirational to me, and it's honestly what motivates me every day. And I'm so excited to do it because, like, literally, like we're sitting here talking about, sin struggles are always going to be a thing. Always. And you are going to feel defeated probably more often than you don't. And that's okay, because as long as you're resting and you're trusting in the Lord and just knowing that, like you said, like nothing is going to stop his plan for you. No. Like nothing. It can't be stopped. And that's a good thing. And to us, it kind of seems like a bad thing sometimes because we like to be control freaks, but that's okay. Absolutely. But just knowing that, like, he has your best interest in mind, even when you don't. Yeah. Like, just knowing that he is all-knowing, that he is omniscient, all-powerful, like, and that he is going to take care of you and provide for you in the ways that you need. I think it's just such a beautiful thing. So beautiful. Honestly, and that's what motivates me to continue, like, to pick myself back up. Honestly, it's like, because when you fall into sin, I feel like that can be, it's a rough feeling, especially when you get hit with that conviction. Then it's like, oh gosh, it's like, well, I can't come back to the Lord now. Like, I've done this so many times. And it's like, that's not the truth. No. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, just like seeing God's mercy through like how much we suck. Yeah, absolutely. Like, truly. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I know we wanted to get into just kind of some like verses that were just like really just kind of on our hearts a little bit. So something that I really wanted to talk about, I know we talked about this like a hot minute ago, this specific chapter, and this was something I love. And I feel like it kind of goes into just our like, oh, like when we're looking at other people, like they're in a happy, great relationship. Like, why aren't we in that relationship? Or like sometimes I feel like as Christians, we like
we compare ourselves to people all the time. Like
100%.
everyone compares themselves, whether you're Christian or not. But a lot of like believers will look at non-believers and be like, wow, like they're doing so great in life. Like, why are they doing better than me? Why am I just like in this crappy, sucky place? So I was reading through Psalms, and this is chapter 92, verse 5 through 7, and it says, how magnificent your works, Lord, how profound your thoughts. A stupid person does not know, a fool does not understand this. Though the wicked sprout like grass and all evildoers flourish, they will be eternally destroyed. So that's something I read it and I was like, dang, like that just like really rocked my world almost, because I'm just like, we forget that like, yeah, literally people are just like the wicked, like they sprout like grass, you know, like they all flourish, you know, like they are living their best lives because Satan isn't attacking them, because he's like, they're already living for me anyways. So like, we obviously there's going to be times where they're doing better than us, but at the end of the day it says they will be eternally destroyed. Like they will spend forever in hell. And I think that's just something like, there's something so like powerful in that, of like just so eye-opening too, like truly like this is real. Like you don't have the Lord, like you will be in hell forever. Like it does not matter how good life is, like on earth, like you will end up in hell when you're not choosing the Lord. And I think that's so crazy. But also I feel like it just goes into like, that's why we should not be comparing ourselves to other people. Because like you might look at someone's life and be like, okay, well they seem like they're doing better than me, you know, like they're 19 and married and are about to have their first kid, and I'm like, wow, you guys are just like living my dream a little bit. So like, but also if they don't have the Lord, then like it's all for nothing. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
I feel like our life is for nothing. Like we lived a life for nothing if we don't have the Lord, because what was it for? You know, so that was just something that I was like, oh, I definitely want to like talk about that, because I think that should bring a lot of comfort when we do find ourselves comparing ourselves to other people and like their walks and like wondering why, like, you know, that like, oh, like why do like good things happen to bad people almost, like one, a lot of times it's just completely out of our control, and two, but it does not matter what happens on this earth, because our goal should be where we're going after we die. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like it shouldn't be, oh, like why do good things happen to bad people? Why do bad things happen to good people? Or like, why is this happening to this person? Like, why is this person succeeding? And instead of like looking and saying, okay, like our lives should be fully focused on living for the Lord now, because we want to get to heaven. Not because we want a good life on earth. Obviously, again, we have desires, and like there's nothing wrong with wanting to get married and wanting to have kids, but at the end of the day, it's never going to compare to the joy that we will feel when we're in heaven. And that should be where we're working towards. So that was just something that I hope like gives you guys a little peace of mind. Like it literally says like, like bad people or like non-believers are literally like, sometimes they will be living their best lives and they will not have struggles, or at least like not hard struggles, or like we won't like see their
them.
struggles.
I was gonna say,
we won't
100%.
see their struggles, but like where they go after they die is so important, you know. So that was just something I wanted to share, because I just like loved getting to read that. Like it really just was like, ooh, that's cool.
I was gonna say too, I'll just add on to that super quick, like that should be something that grieves us. Like you see people who maybe have so much more than you in this world, maybe they do, right? So what? But it's like, if they don't have the Lord, like you said, it's all for nothing. It's all for nothing. And that should grieve us so deeply. Like that is literally why missions exists, is to go, therefore, and spread the gospel.
Why we're called to be like fishers of men.
Yes,
you know? Like,
literally.
We're literally called to go out and get people and bring them, like plant that seed. You know what I mean? Like, yo, come know Jesus. You know what I mean? That's why we're supposed to evangelize and like spread the gospel in any way that we can, because it is sad. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that like I am just like so like passionate about. Like I want everyone to know Jesus. Like literally everyone, I want to have a relationship with Jesus, because it is so sad knowing that like some people are not gonna get there. You know? Like they're not. And I know if we had even talked about like obviously like Jesus coming back, we have no clue when. We never will know. But like whether Jesus comes back like, eventually you're going to face him.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know this is, like, this heavy, a lot heavier than, like, what we were talking about initially, but, like, it truly is so important because it's like, okay, like, people talk about, you need to get ready, Jesus is coming back, you need to get ready. Like, literally, the Lord could take you at any time.
Yeah.
Like, you could die tomorrow, whether Jesus comes back or not, and you're going to have to face him.
Yeah.
So whether you face him when you die, well, that was aggressive. Whether you face him when you die or you face him when he comes back, you're going to have to face him. You're going to have to, like, literally, like, walk in front of the judge, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, literally, it's real. It's so real.
And I know we were kind of joking about this with, like, Leviticus, but you do not want to see the Lord and die, like death.
No,
you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that smoke at all.
No.
At all. But I think that kind of like the back end of that too, it's like in order to go out and share the gospel with people and make sure that you are reaching people, you have to first be poured into. And you have to learn to rest in the Lord, which kind of transitions into the last little bit that I want to add today for this episode. Psalm 23, titled "The Lord is my shepherd." I'll just go ahead and read all the way through it for you because it's only 6 verses. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever." So, some of the biggest things that I got when I read it the first time, like I just mentioned, like, when you rest in the Lord, your cup will overflow, because it will overflow with the rest and the peace that you're given when you choose to pursue him. And you have to learn to rest in the Lord if you want to help anybody else. I've learned that the easy way and the hard way, most of the hard way, because I'm pretty stubborn. But it's such a good reminder to me that, like, literally verse 4 again, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. We have no reason to fear anything. No. We are commanded, do not fear. I
fear the Lord.
Yeah. Fear the Lord, and that's
man.
it.
Yeah.
Fear the Lord, not man. I think it said, like, at least, I think I saw a video about it, like 365 times in the Bible, like, do not fear, like, do not be anxious. It's like something for every single day, because truly, like, we have nothing to fear on this earth. And it's so, like, it makes me so awestruck that, like, we get so anxious about things. And literally, I'm preaching to the choir myself, because I get so anxious and wound up about literally every single thing, like, all of the dumbest things you could ever imagine. Those are what makes Hannah anxious, okay? Like, I can't be, like, normal about it. And I literally, like, I struggle with it so bad. And, like, I struggle so bad to, like, submit it to the Lord, kind of going back to what we were initially talking about. Like, I am, like, inhibiting myself from living and, like, walking in what the Lord has called for me to be in, what my calling is in terms of, like, where I'm in my life right now. Like, being in college, like, getting to serve and getting to pour into other people. It's like, I can't do that if I'm not first seeking the Lord. Yeah. And I think this is a really good reminder. It's something to always come back to. Like, He will always lead you beside still waters, because He's in control of them. And He will always lie you down and restore your soul. Like, when you truly seek the Lord and, you know, you're like, Lord, like, I've been feeling so anxious, I've been feeling so worried, like, I just want to rest in you, but I don't know how. Like, coming to Him, period, is the first step. And, like, I'll say this too, like, if you feel like you're really struggling to rest and have peace, yes, seek the Lord, but it's never a bad idea to reach out and ask for help. Like, I know my discipler was a huge impact in my life this past year, because I did not know truly what it looked like to rest in the Lord, because I thought I was resting in the Lord, but really, like you said, I had that one little pinky in. I was still dipping the toes in a little bit, and I wasn't fully really relinquishing it. And a lot of it was because of, like, my anxiety and, like, my fear control issues, but also my pride. Yeah. Like, that's a lot of what it came down to as well. And the first time I got clocked with that, I was like, ooh, because it's never a good feeling. It's like, oh, well, actually, the root of that sin is pride. Fun fact. But it's such, like, a good reminder, because, like, when you're humbled in that sense, you know what you need to let go of. Yeah. But you also know, like, kind of the root of that sin as well. And that helps you to look out for it moving forward. But moral of the story, like, never be afraid to reach out, and, like, just know that, like, no matter what you do, even like I was talking about in the beginning of Lamentations, when the, you know, people of Jerusalem were, like, lamenting, they were grieving, they were very sorrowful, right? Because the Lord had struck them down because they were living in willful and active rebellion. Don't let that be you. Like, don't let it get to that point. The Lord is always going to be there for you. And even after maybe He has to tear some things down in your life and discipline you, maybe even severely, He's always going to be there for you. But my best advice would be to seek Him first, so that it doesn't get to that point. Like, one thing, and I may have mentioned some of this briefly, like in the first episode, but One of my like pastors at my church kind of talked about like how there's so much bad to be experienced in this world, but the good news is it doesn't have to be your experience. Like a lot of our own sin is what we choose for ourselves actively, which is crazy to think about. It's like, Hannah, how dumb are you? Truly. I'm like, I could have avoided so much of my life if I chose to just like not, you know? Like seriously. But you can't ever change the past. You can only change what you do in the future and the attitude and the mindset that you have moving forward. So
absolutely, yeah. I like absolutely, this is my favorite passage in the entire Bible. I think it's just so comforting, you know. Like literally I tried to show you guys, but like my tattoo is verse 5, like my cup overflows, and it's just so beautiful. Like even though I can walk through the valley of shadow and death, like one, that just shows like you're going to struggle. You're literally going to struggle.
No kidding.
You're going to have such heartaches in life. But like the Lord is like I'm right here. Like I'm here. Literally. I'm here for you. I just think it's so cool. Like just so cool, and like truly seeking the Lord. Like it really does give you so much peace when you give over that control and you say, you know what, Lord, I'm gonna take all my fingers off it. I'm gonna like literally give it all to you. I'm going to let you work. It truly does give you so much peace and so much comfort over everything. And I think that's so cool. And like, that's literally what the Lord wants. He wants us to have that peace. He wants us to have that comfort. He wants to be the one to take it on because he knows he can handle it. We can't handle it.
No.
Like,
we like to think we can.
We like to think we can, but we can't.
False.
So like, he wants to handle it. He wants to take care of us. Like, we truly have to be able to give that over. And I think that's just so cool. And I absolutely love Psalms 23. I think it's so good.
Yeah. He doesn't want us to be full of grief. He doesn't want us to be full of sorrow. There's no reason that you should ever get to that point. There's no reason that you should ever get to that point alone. Like, I know a lot of times, like, and like we talked about, literally the comparison is the thief of joy. Okay? Like, truly it is. Never compare yourself to any other person, but especially not to like another Christian, because the only thing it will do is tear you down because you know nothing about their actual walk. And that's honestly like, it's the root of that is pride as well. It's just making assumptions and things like that. And
that's not where our focus should be.
No, not at all.
Our focus should be on what the Lord can do in our life.
Yes, exactly.
You know, like
exactly. You need to be able to be present.
Trying to pick the speck out of someone else's eye, not realizing the log that you have in your eye. Like I think that's what it is a lot of the time. It's like we get so like hyper fixated on everyone else and like every aspect. So like literally, just the Lord's like, focus on me, you know. I have no specks, no logs in my eyes whatsoever, you know.
20/20 vision.
Literally. So just so cool. The Lord is just so comforting, and I think that's just kind of what we wanted to like speak on today. It's just like we have struggles, we have things that we go through, and like it's okay though. Like the Lord truly has brought us so much comfort through it. He has changed our hearts in ways we never would have even imagined, and like that is just so cool and so comforting that like we truly can turn towards him and like fully like rest on him.
He's so gracious. He's so merciful. Like he's just a cool dude.
He's so cool.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We had so much fun with you guys this episode, and we will catch you in the next one.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Thank you.